Hello and welcome to Silverstone, the Grand Prix circuit. I am in the 2019 Invitational Series and my fully upgraded Ferrari SF90. I'm using tilt B controls, sensitivity 2. All assists are off and they have to be. You cannot do this if you have assists on. Just forget about it. And you really should use tilt B controls to do this. It's possible with tilt A, but you will be slower because you will have more time sliding around. Now, usually if you're experienced with this, you know I should have taken that first cut. I sometimes run out of cars too quickly and then there's just too much of a gap in the middle of a lap. I passed the 42 bots too quickly. Oh, lawnmower mode. I gotta love that. So the secret is you gotta pass 42 cars to trigger the endless endurance race, okay? And I tend to do it too quickly at this track, which can actually get me in trouble as far as cycling into a new lap. So that's why I'm skipping that first cut. Other people can't do this and they're running out of bots at like 30, 40, 50. Oh my, that's a mistake. Anyway, 30, 40, 50 kilometers. If you haven't hit the perpetual point by 40, you're probably not going to. But I've heard from the odd person that didn't hit it till 50. But I would say 40 is a pretty good bet. You'll see what I mean here for me. I don't hit it that late, but I do hit it, well, you'll see. So I'm taking I'm going to take all the cuts now. So first lap, I skipped the first cut, took the second and third. Now I'm going to take all three cuts all the time. And you want to be very, very controlled with these cuts. Like notice how little I'm skidding. Watch me on the brakes here. Okay, I'm being very careful. You got to join traffic very carefully here. That becomes very important later on. And we'll talk about that again. Lawnmower mode again. Look, notice how little I'm sliding. Now you want to watch my gas pedal when I'm off track. See there I do a little lift because sometimes I have so much speed I go off into the gravel there. Don't want to do that. So you'll notice that I'll be lifting off my accelerator to regain traction. So that's the advantage. With tilt A controls, once you start sliding, you're stuck with full throttle, which, woo, that guy almost hit me. With tilt A, back to that, you're stuck full throttle, which will make you slide more. You can brake and get it back, but you are wasting time. So the advantage of tilt A is you don't have to be holding the screen all the time like I am. Whenever I've always got pedals on, right? But I think tilt B is just the best, and I think it's more realistic anyway. And you can still get the feel of tilt A of having instant brakes. Notice how I preload the brakes. Watch what's going to happen here. Pretty soon you're going to see the accelerator and brakes on at the same time. Like there, I've preloaded the brakes. Now all I have to do is let go of the accelerator and I've got my brakes instantly on. So I can really control my braking points that way. So it works vice versa. So if you have accelerator on first and then put on brakes and hold both, as soon as you let off accelerator, you've got brakes. And so it works the other way. If you've got brakes and press accelerator, you'll get accelerator right away again. However, I tend to sometimes leave a little bit of a gap between letting off the brakes and getting on the gas. Not too often, but sometimes I do. Sometimes you'll notice I'm feathering my throttle a bit to control it. Now, right now, through Maggots, Beckett's Complex and Chapel Curve, that's this section here, 3 different corners. The bots are pretty slow. They take it really bad. They will take it bad the whole race, but they get very boosted. So these guys get very fast, and you'll see that coming up here. Like their first lap, they're dreadfully slow, like already. See, I'm not going to gain too much on this guy. Look at this. See, he was on the gas earlier, so he starts pulling away. But you're going to notice this. Now, they often brake for corner one. I don't know why. It's just crazy. Again, you're going to watch. I'm very controlled here. See, there's no sliding. Now there's a stretch of a bot shortage. But then it gets exciting. So this gets very difficult here. I don't want to hit this too early or it gets very difficult. See, look, there's a bot there. And you can see by the mini map, there's no more bots around. So yeah, I've got a nice full timer. I need it because that's going to start winding down before I get to the perpetual point. What's the perpetual point? Well, that's the point that things can go on perpetually or forever. Or that's why we call these endless endurance races. But the perpetual point is important. It has nothing to do with the distance you've covered. It has to do with passing 42 cars. That's it. That's what gets you there. So don't say, well, I traveled as far as you did and I didn't see the perpetual point. You didn't drive it the same way I did that. It would have to be identical to me. And I actually am driving it a bit too fast, so I had to slow it down a bit by skipping that first cut. Now, let's see if I can catch anything here. I sometimes see them right here. Let's just see what we see here. My timer's at 61. Didn't pass anybody. So still low on bots? Not for long. They were in front of me. So this is the hardest part. This gap, this lack of bots, this little shortage you go through. Still didn't pass anybody. If I take that just right, I stay full throttle. Oftentimes it's worth that little lift just in case, because you just don't want to wash off track. Cop's corner, you take this full throttle in these cars. I love it. It's awesome. Now I'm gaining on him. They brake at Cop's a little bit. And through Maggots, Beckett's Complex. Ooh, Chapel Curve. See, I'm gaining on him. Watch this. Watch this. And then he starts pulling away. Why is that? Because now every single bot is better than a fully upgraded car. I estimate it's a 5% boost. But they still drive worse in the corners. All right, look at that. Look at all those bots. I got there. Look how low my timer is. Pretty sketchy. Now, can you pass more than five cars or more well off track? Okay, well, that used to be a big no-no. That got fixed a long time ago. There we go. I just passed 5 cars well off track. Nothing happened. It used to be a game-ending mistake. It was a glitch in the game, and I actually don't think they purposely fixed it. I think it just accidentally got fixed when they were fixing something else. You see, there's unintended consequences to adjustments in the game. So that's why I sometimes do not ask them to change certain things, because things can take a long time to fix. Like, for instance, when Formula One content first entered the game, it messed up endurance races for years. So it took quite a long time for them to get the bots back to almost what we had before. So it's just, sometimes it's like, well, let's just leave well enough alone. That's kind of my attitude, if something's not too bad. Now you can see my timer's still getting low, but you watch, that's going to start to equalize. Can catch some draft without having to worry much, because they're going to pull away. Lap 7, timer's at 47. That's not enough to finish a lap. So you've always got to stay controlled. So you see what I'm doing here now. Remember what I said? Watch. Look at that. You want to be as far over to the left as possible, or you're going to get swiped and totally smashed out. And then you got to be careful of those ghost bots. And this is also a section that you should be careful of, but more on that in a little bit here. All right, so you do have to be careful. So heading into Cobb's Corner here, you want to take this wide enough. If you don't, then whoop, right there. Nuts. That's a really bad place to lose it. I'm glad I had a pretty full timer. Oh, so yeah, small mistakes are very costly. Watch, I'm not going to see anybody till probably the first cut. Like, there's nobody. Well, there might be someone just on the edge of the horizon there, right entering Stowe. But yeah, last chicane. No, I'm not going to catch anybody here. So you can see that's a costly mistake. And my timer, it takes very little. If you make 2 mistakes in 1 lap, that's 1 mistake too many. So, like, this would be very, very unlikely to finish a lap with that much time. So let's see what I can. Oh, there's a guy right there. And a few more. Full timer, almost. And you can catch a little bit of ghost draft. Oh, I got a little bit there. Got a bit of slipstreaming from the ghost. Thank you, Mr. Ghosty. Nice little push there. Ooh, I didn't rejoin very well. Oh, okay, this is going to get interesting. You'll see what I mean here in a little bit. Yeah, so take a look at how close these bots are grouped together, okay? Watch what happens here. It's really funny. For some reason, when they get that close together, they can't handle it, and they start losing it. It's really funny. I've actually had bots take each other out there, which can be really dangerous. So when you see them really tightly grouped entering that section, Maggots, Beckett's Complex, and Chapel Curve, you know you better just let off the throttle. Give them a little bit of room. They're going to wreck, and there you go. So now I can just go as long as I want to. It's up to me. Now, there's no use going super far. Like, the fame pay is actually incredible for this race. Too bad you can't hire the agent. That's not going to happen, though, so never mind that. And you only need to go 133.7578, somewhere in there, to get 250,000 M dollars. So you could do that. And if you run this on bonus fame days, it can be great. Oh, look at that. That's another place. After the perpetual point, you do have to be careful there. And if you're doing this race in other cars, lots of cars can do this race at this circuit, not just Formula One cars. I've done this in lots of cars. So look, check this out. He's faster than fully upgraded, but I can outdrive him. Look how good, look at this. This gets incredible. I almost can overtake him. A little bit of slipstreaming. I don't want to hit him. There we go. Get some more slipstreaming. He gives me a really nice tow. I hit more speed than I can by myself. I love it. We're going to start warping ahead a bit because there's a lot of repetitiveness. Now, if you get bored, take pit road exit. It's kind of silly. Let's warp ahead some more here. Taking the big cut. And again, like I was saying, you do have to be careful because especially this, a disappearing bot, if you hit him, smash, you'll get totally damaged even though he's a ghost. It's ridiculous. And again, what I was saying here, woo, that was close. Now you can catch some ghost draft if you get in front of him. Don't get behind him. You can get behind him, but just get out of the way really quickly. And we've warped ahead a little bit. Ooh, boy, you can see I got off the throttle. Look at this. Woo, yikes, that was a little bit close. We're going to warp ahead some more and bring this race to a close in just a little bit. I'm going to end it at exactly 100 kilometers, and then I come back and finish the race there. So we do a freeze frame at full speed. It gives us accurate numbers. And let's take a look at all the numbers. How many M dollars per minute, fame per minute, and what is my average speed through this race? That can all be very interesting to look at. So here we go, 100 kilometers, boom, ending it right there. From green light to that point, 21 minutes to 35 seconds. I reached level 1102, that's crazy. So, M dollars per minute, 86.64. Fame per minute, 1582. Wow. Average speed was 278 kilometers an hour or 173 miles per hour. Wow. So please like, please subscribe, check out some other videos. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you guys out there on the track.